Please turn to section 1 of the listening practice test. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 5 before listening to the conversation. Now we shall begin. You should answer the questions as you listen because you will not hear the recording a second time. Now listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 5. Listen to the conversation between a Japanese student and a housing officer and complete the form.
Hi, I'm Keiko Yuchini. I'm interested in joining a homestay program.
Wonderful. Could you tell me a bit more about yourself?
Sure. I'm from Japan and 28 years old. I'm currently staying at Willow College, room 21C. My passport number is JO6337.
Excellent. How long are you hoping to stay with a homestay family?
I'm enrolled in a 5-month advanced English course, and I've completed 5 weeks already. So, I would like to stay with a homestay for about 4 more months.
Before they continue their conversation, look at questions 6 to 10. Do you have any preferences for a host family? Would you prefer a family with or without children? Do you mind smokers? Any dietary restrictions?
I prefer a non-smoking family, and I love animals. No dietary restrictions. I enjoy trying new foods. I'm into sports and have various hobbies.
Great to know. Are you familiar with public transport? Let's meet later for details about potential host families.
Thank you for your help. I appreciate it.
You are going to hear a talk. First, look at questions 11 to 14. Hi everyone. This agency has been doing tours for more than 21 years, and it's a really cool place to visit. But sometimes, it can be a bit tricky or not so easy. That's why this tour is here to help you with the tricky paperwork stuff and give you more time to enjoy the beautiful country. The thing you need to know about is visas. Nowadays, almost everyone needs a visa to come here. The regular visa lasts for 90 days, but you can renew it. It's a good idea to start applying a few months before you plan to come. The cost is around £40, but remember, the price change, so check with the IELTS embassy before you send in your forms. If you're planning to visit as part of a longer tour and want to get your visa in another country, some Asian consulates might ask for a letter from your own embassy. Just a letter confirming where you're from. You can find a list of major embassies worldwide in the student handbook on page 31. Oh, and one more thing, check if you need a multiple entry visa if you're leaving and coming back to IELTS during your tour. Continues. You will have a chance to look at questions 15 to 20. Here are some helpful tips for you. If you have more than $1,000 in cash or traveler's checks, remember to fill out form at the airport. It's important, you might get in trouble if you forget. Declare all your things, especially expensive ones like cameras, on form. You can do this ahead of time. Talking about staying healthy, ESNA is getting healthier, but nearby countries are still careful about health rules. So, it's a good idea to carry a health certificate. If you're a student, you get special deals in EASE. You can get a youth fare card from EASE Nian Transport Authority at any train station. Just show your international student card. Details on how to get this are in the handbook. Regarding passport photos, because there's a lot of paperwork in IELTS, it's suggested to bring 12 passport photos with you. They might not be easy to get there. Now, about money, pounds aren't very useful in IELTS these days, so it's better to use yen or Australian dollars. US dollars might cause problems because of political issues. Surprisingly, credit cards aren't very helpful due to fraud, so use traveler's checks. But use medium amounts, big ones could get stolen, and little ones might have extra charges. As I mentioned before, the student handbook has lots of useful information. In this section you will hear a discussion about shopping habits. First look at questions 21 to 24. Hey there. I'm interested in your shopping habits. Mind sharing how often you go to the supermarket?
Hi, Dale. Sure thing. I used to be a student, but now I work as a cashier in a bank. I find myself at the supermarket almost every day.
That's quite frequent. Do you also engage in other shopping activities besides the supermarket?
Absolutely. I do other shopping every other week, and I usually spend around £50 each time. I prefer big department stores. They make it so convenient to find everything in one place, especially when the weather is bad.
Interesting. Is there any particular item that you find challenging to buy?
Oh, definitely jeans. It's a struggle to find a pair that fits just right. I end up spending a lot of time on that during my shopping trips.
First look at questions 25 to 30. I was looking at this chart about shopping habits, and it's really interesting. Half the people spend around £45 a month, but 15% spend a lot more, about £75. And the regular shoppers, the majority, stay under £20.
Wow, that's a big difference. Did you find out anything else?
Yeah, those who spend less, the window shoppers, really like department stores. But here's the thing, their main problem isn't books or study materials, it's hobby items, especially sportswear. They have trouble finding different styles in shoes and trousers, so they often give up.
I get that, it can be frustrating. Did you ask about who they like to shop with?
Yeah, and surprisingly, many prefer shopping alone. They think it's more focused and quicker. Some still like going to physical stores, even though online shopping is also popular. It's really interesting to learn about people's shopping habits, isn't it?
It really is. Like discovering a secret code of how people like to buy things.
In section you will hear a lecture about study and answer questions 31 to 40. First look at questions 31 to 40. Can everyone hear me? Is this microphone working? Good. Welcome, everyone, to the second lecture about successful study at college. Yesterday, we talked about basic things like where to find information and how to use the library and computer system. Today, we'll discuss something for your time in college, time management. Many books cover this topic, and if you're interested, I have a list of books and other materials. Now, let's talk about time management. In the past, time management meant planning every hour of the week and trying to stick to that plan. But nowadays, the concept's changed. You can't control time, it just goes. So, what you need to manage is yourself. To do this effectively, you must have a clear idea of what you want to achieve and how to achieve it. In other words, you need goals and a systematic way to reach them. Most coursework college involves 2 written assignments of 1,500 to 3,000 words, usually set by mid-semester and at the end of the semester. If you observe the college during the early weeks, everyone looks cheerful and focused. However, around week 6, during assignment time, people start feeling stressed. The library notes that more students get upset when books aren't available. Why? Because they haven't managed their resources well, set priorities, or planned to achieve their goals. Establishing goals means deciding what you want to achieve or the results you desire. Students who become usually didn't fully think through the impact of assignments on their daily lives. There's a lot of spare time in a day, and even spending just 1 hour on an activity that aids your study can make a significant impact, especially if it becomes a regular habit. Now, take a look at the planners in your information kits: a term planner for an overview of the entire term, a weekly planner for weekly help, and a daily planner for detailed planning. Make a note in your daily planner right now. Imagine how spending just 1 hour a day on activities like background reading or preparing a bibliography can make a major difference. The term and weekly planner are crucial, but a week is the shortest time for an overview of your time for planning purposes. Set priorities for the term, figure out how to achieve them, and plan accordingly. If you develop the habit of planning, you'll find more time for relaxation and other enjoyable activities. Now, let's share your ideas. I'll divide you into groups for discussion. Okay.